Back to the basement. I'm Dad, and if you are here with me in the basement, it's because you are a dad, you're gonna be a dad, you've been a dad, and you're seeking some solace. Maybe you are, you know, burning the midnight oil, desperately hoping for a little bit more free time, whether it's recording videos, playing video games, whatever you might do before duty calls. Maybe you're playing Call of Duty at that. But in this video, I actually wanted to talk about, what they don't tell you about pregnancy and taking care of your partner during pregnancy and during labor. This was, I would say the labor part was so incredibly, I won't say easy because it's not an easy process, but compared to what my wife had to go through, labor for me was, I mean, cakewalk is a strong way to put it, but I mean, it felt like the amount of things I had to do were manageable. It felt like I knew enough to take my own ego, my own emotions out of it to try and be strong and to be understanding of, one moment she might be okay, and then the next moment she would need, very rigorous back rubs and assurance. And um, it felt like I absolutely had the easy end of things. And obviously, I'm not the one pushing the baby out. Um, I would say the harder part was the 10 months leading up. And really it's because the first 2 to 3 months was, this excitement, almost like honeymoon period of like you're still anticipating like what the gender is going to be. um, you're still telling people slowly but surely. You're like starting to look at baby things, and your wife's creating a registry, and you're looking at all the stuff that you're going to be getting. Like, I'm looking at all this furniture that is still not built because the baby is still too young, just over 2 months, which, if you're curious. um, there's that honeymoon period. But then trimester two rolls around, and my wife was going through a lot of changes, a lot of physical changes, obviously, but hormonal and emotional changes. And um, there's a lot that goes into, understanding that your partner is like at times going to seem like a completely different person. And that can be a very great thing, very happy and joyous thing. And other times might make you want to rip your hair out. And I'd say in those moments, it's very important to have people that you can talk to that know enough about you and your partner to be able to advocate for both, while still also knowing, hey, I am going to make sure that dad feels supported and feels understood. Um, and this is a big reason why I wanted to start this channel and have this sort of safe space for men and dads, because I think there's, I won't say like stigma, because I'm just a new dad, but I feel like, men, we're supposed to be rocks, right? We're supposed to be stable, secure. We're supposed to be able to take it, right? Sometimes we're being thrown a million different things at once and it's irrational, and our partners might even know that it's irrational, but in that moment, it's really all that they can do is let that out and try and be heard and understood. One thing that came up a lot with my wife was, needing to give her grace, right? And grace is in, you know, if in a moment I understand there's some irrationality, I need to not take that so incredibly personal, because on the other side of me is someone who has never been through what she's been through, who's also learning these things about herself. So rather than take things personally and feel personally attacked and victimized, um, there's this need to sort of give grace and understanding, and have faith that at another moment there's going to be that come back to reality, come back down to earth moment, on my wife's part, and to say, hey, yeah, no, I was being irrational then, but I appreciate you just being there, just being a rock to absorb some of that irrationality and the hormonal imbalances and all of the ways that she is changing physically, mentally, and spiritually. So, being a rock, I think I'm understanding what that means more and more now. Right? It's not to say that you need to be a pushover and just be bullied, but it's to say, pick your battles, know when to pick your battles, know when to speak up and advocate for yourself, and know when your wife is really just your wife or your partner is going through something that's specific to this new period of her life, something that she's never problem solved before. Um, so I wanted to have this channel and have these videos here to really just make it so men understand, new fathers understand, we are on the same team as our partners, but within that, it's almost like men and women have their own squadrons that they're on. So, during pregnancy, it's really important to have those people that you can go to when you're in the midst of those clashing of responsibilities and clashing of you're changing as a man and she's changing as a woman. I'd say really what they don't tell you about pregnancy and about supporting your partner is you have to eat a lot of shit. Eat a lot of shit and know that it's not intentional that you're supposed to be eating shit, and just know that it's gonna end. The shit eating is gonna end with you having a baby that you will see, and you will literally forget about all of those dumb little fights, those dumb little squabbles. Um, Felt like once we saw our baby, all of those things dissolved. And even if over the next couple of months we've had some of those squabbles, we're able to compartmentalize that and say, hey, like it is all worth it because we are now responsible for this creature, this young little child, this baby who is completely dependent on you. Um, and just little things like the way your baby will smile at you, the way your baby will laugh when they recognize who you are, and those will make those little moments where you have to kind of be a rock uh, feel like they were a lot more worth it. Whereas in the moment, like during pregnancy, leading up to labor, it can just feel very much like what did I get myself into? That is a normal feeling. Um, it's it's the hardest thing I think I've ever gone through, those 10 months of my wife being pregnant, but it also culminated in the best moment of my life. So really just think understanding it's okay to acknowledge that it was hard. Like you saying that pregnancy was not hard for you as a man, like you're not at fault for that, right? Like we might have it easy in that during labor, we're not pushing out a baby for what I learned actually only for an hour or so, 2 hours of pushing if you're lucky. But labor can be over a day. For us, it was like a day and a half. Even though we have the easy end in that room, the 10 months leading up, I would argue what they don't tell you is it's just as hard for men as it is for women because you're mentally preparing yourself for your entire life and all of your relationships, that dynamic you have with your partner, with your parents, with other family members, with friends, with coworkers, everyone. Everything is about to change. And that's not just for you as a woman, it's for you as a man. So hopefully you found that useful or insightful. At the very least, it felt cathartic for me to talk about that. Um, but let me know in the comments, what is one thing, one tip you would have for a new father who is still, or an about to be a new father who is still going through that pregnancy period? What is one tip you might tell them? Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.